Welcome to another day on the Journey Chez Cam. Please do the 2 warm-up questions to the best of your ability, and we will be back to go over them with you. Finding the oxidation number of the underlined element is what we're doing in number 1. We're trying to find the oxidation number or the charge of the nitrogen in nitrite. I'm going to remove the nitrate from the compound, so I don't care about the 2 or the lead, it doesn't matter. The whole thing is equal to -1. Oxygen is -2. There are 3 of them, giving me a -6, and therefore nitrogen must be +5. In the case of this compound, even though this polyatomic ion is not in parentheses, it is still a polyatomic ion. And that's why it's important that we know what our polyatomic ions are so we can spot them. Phosphate has an oxidation number of the overall polyatomic ion of -3. So I set my equation equal to -3. Oxygen is -2. There are 4 of them, which gives me a -8. Phosphorus is my unknown, and that would be +5. In this one, the compound is equal to 0, and oxygen has an oxidation number of -2, and therefore 10 must be +2. In this case, sulfite is -2. And therefore 10 again is +2. In nitrite, the whole polyatomic ion is equal to -1. There are 2 oxygens. Each oxygen is -2, giving me a -4 on the oxygens, and therefore in this case nitrogen is +3. Chromate has an overall charge of -2. I set my equation equal to -2. Oxygen is -2 times 4 is -8. Therefore, chromium in this case must be +6. And that was some more practice on oxidation numbers. In number 2, we are determining the formula to the name to the formula and the formula to the name. My habit that I do is that I write the charge above the word, and silver is always, always, always +1, so I don't need a Roman numeral in the name because it's understood. Acetate is -1, so it's just silver, C2H3O2. Nitrogen has a Roman numeral 2 here, so that means it's +2 is its charge. Oxygen is normally -2, so it's just NO. No. Sodium is +1. Nitride is a binary compound of nitrogen with a -3 charge. The common multiple between 1 and 3 is 3, so I need 3 sodiums. In C, oh, this is D. You knew that, didn't you? That's D. I can see that this is peroxide, the polyatomic ion, because potassium is always +1, and there are 2 of them, which gives me a +2. So both oxygens together must be -2, and that can only happen with peroxide. Otherwise, oxygen would be -2 for each one individually, which would give me a -4, and then I would not have 0. This is just potassium peroxide. Cadmium is always +2. And oxalate is -2. Cadmium does not need a Roman numeral, so it's just cadmium oxalate. In E, oh my, did I letter these incorrectly? We can't have that, we have to fix that. There you go. Don't want any confusion about that. Aluminum is always, always, always +3. It's one of the silly 6. So aluminum does not require a Roman numeral. It's just aluminum sulfate. So that's a little bit of practice. Now, I should say you and your facilitator will go over the review sheet and cover those answers and get any questions that you have going on there. And then tomorrow's the assessment, and I'm sure you're going to be ready. We've been working hard on these. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.